Twerking, she said she twerking. I'm trying to get in, she said she taking. I want that money, but she be stunting. Twerking, she said she twerking. Twerking.
Yo! My creatives, what's going on? You hear the laughter going on. It's kind of crazy because I know these people. Let me introduce them. But nonetheless, man, this is C.U.T.S podcast. You know what the C.U.T stand for? Culture, Urban, Technology, and Sports. We are in episode, I'm going to get it correct. We are at episode 102. Yes, 102 of season 5. New season, season 5. I told you I'm swinging for the fences for this one. Nonetheless, I got people's head that I've been on the grind with them in media. So a lot of you people that want to be content creators, you want to be media personalities, you want to be media figures, and of that such, I got the best, one of the best people for you here. And unless I've known these people for a long time, yes, my creators, we're in story mode. I've known them since 2016, 17, I believe. I known them through the trenches. Shout out to both freshmen. He introduced me to them. They know my brother, which we're gonna get in that conversation and stuff like that. Nonetheless, I got VPR Radio's own. I got Qiana and I got DJ FMI. What's good, son?
Yo,
what's
in a minute?
What's the good? What's the word, son? What is the word? I am happy. I have to have y'all here, man. What's the good? What's shaking?
Man, just on my end, it's a hot summer. You know what I mean? I've been running around just working and DJing, doing a few concerts and festivals, running around with my artists, doing showcases. Qiana, you could take the mic right now.
First of all, I just want to point out how DJ FMI and I are always in sync. Do you see what he's wearing? Or do you see what I'm wearing?
I know, yo. This is why y'all do what y'all do. This is why y'all one of the best platforms out there.
It's so lit, but most definitely, I mean, we have been so blessed to do VPR and do it on our own terms, and things are just getting bigger and faster. It's definitely going to be a hot summer. You know, I'm going to have some flexibility, so we outside for real. FMI between RTM Entertainment and, you know, myself with Goddess Media. I just got certified in data analytics from Google, so we got a lot going on. We out here getting all the bags and attending all the things and, you know, interviewing all the people and coming on all the interviews. So we appreciate you having us here.
Yeah, no, of course not. I had to. I would have played myself not having you, but no, I got. Let's just get right into it. How does it feel being a platform, you know, doing on your own and then living off the fruits of your labor, and then as well as to take my creatives into the trials and tribulations of that process?
Okay.
Do you want to hit that one, FMI, or shall I begin?
You can start this time, and I'll piggyback off that.
Okay, so first of all, it's an amazing feeling to be doing what you love, right? And to be able to get that to finance your lifestyle. I mean, I think that's what deep down, what everyone that is a creative and that is an entrepreneurial spirit wants, because that's not everyone. You got to have worker bees, you got to have bosses, right? There's different lanes for everyone, but it feels amazing. At the same time, it's the hardest work that you'll ever do. I work more hours for myself between taking care of my family and running businesses, plural, than I, you know, ever did in the corporate world, where I would go take a 2 or 3 hour lunch and, you know, go do some shoe shopping and then have my work done or do work at my own time. Here, I try to be so disciplined and make sure that I'm executing. And we always have, you know, entrepreneurs, we never have a to-do list that ends, right? So I just do my best to prioritize and, you know, make sure that we're linked up, that our schedules are linked up, that we're booked up, because we constantly book, you know, at least 3 months in advance on VPR, which is a huge blessing. So just keeping it all together, you know, keeping it all professional, making sure that my partner and I are never at odds, which it's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you something, it's so hard in this business. I've worked with other people who have been partners, right? It was never the same dynamic because there's always some sort of power struggle. Somebody feels like on that end, because it's not me, I could care less, like, let's just get in this and let's do it. Your strengths, mine are mine, and let's like focus and put them together and do the best that we can. So, you know, to be able to do this with DJ FMI, I cannot say, you know, enough how much of a blessing it is, because we are truly like in sync. we get it popping, we know how to vet people, and we give great interviews, and we just, we bring a great balance. I think being Libras, I'm a woman, he's a man, so we bring different perspectives. He's younger, I'm a little bit older, so that brings a different perspective. There's just different dynamics that we bring to our platform, and we're proud to do it from a standpoint of positivity and uplifting and happiness and knowledge, because knowledge is really, it sounds cliche, but knowledge is power. And how are we going to take back our power if we don't know how to do that?
You know what I mean? And just to tie into what Qiana was speaking upon, I feel like just being an entrepreneur now, it's the biggest balance between being fulfilled with chasing and doing what you love, and having those nights where you feel empty because you're not seeing what you're working at. You're thinking long run. You're seeing the bigger picture. And with having that 9 to 5 that normally everybody runs to, which isn't bad at all. Like she said, worker bees, business, however you want to cut it. You have to be able to know that this is what you want. And being an entrepreneur, that's what it showed me. I have not worked for anyone else in, I would say, 15 years or 11 years, 12 years. And I can't go back, you know what I mean? And it takes a lot of discipline to do that, waking up every day, putting your schedule ahead of you. All right, I got to bounce out this content. This has to be recorded. This has to be edited. This client sent me this. Let me edit that flyer, make a little extra money there. All right, I'm booked to go DJ here. Okay, I'm booked to go put this equipment here. You see what I'm saying? So it's discipline to get up and tell myself to do that every day. And I'm glad I could do that with Qiana by my side.
Yeah,
that's what's up. See, my creators, see what I'm saying? That's always been the case. Like even on season 4, the case has been the pivot, like how everybody pivoted out of the 2-year hiatus and everything like that. But I'm glad you're talking on that, because I feel we all are speaking on the same accord in a sense, right? We're sick and tired of people coming into the industry and diluting the value of what it is, right? It's dogs. You got to put the footwork in. It's not just about buying likes and buying views and just doing clout chasing interviews with people because you were able to get those type of people and then just do the tomfuckery thereof. And I really want my creators to understand, you really got to put your feet, elbows, hell, joints, hell, hats, mops, Skittles, socks, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You got to really put it in there to make this happen. And I've seen, since I've known you, the both of you, you know what I'm saying, for the last 5 years, 6 years, I've known the both of you. I've seen what you guys had to put in. And then now look at what's happened. So I'm definitely blessed to know that, and then you guys talk about that. What do you feel is missing with the way content is being done now? Okay, no, let's get to it.
Well, first of all,
I
I just want to say there's a lot of gimmicks in the game, right? So authenticity, I think, is what's missing, right? Originality, I think, is what's missing. We've seen it all. We even look at like Netflix and different platforms that are remaking things that we watched when we were younger. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get the remake, but like, where's the creativity and the originality? And I feel like that's what's missing right now. People having their own sound.
I feel like, we're in the era of clickbait. And as long as you could get people to click that video, man, and that's what it comes down to, the stream, the revenue that comes in with that. So if you could sell the gimmick and wow people, that's the issue. But like she said, just to touch back on it, what we are missing is that wholesome content. I want to see people being helped, and I want to see that getting the same amount of numbers as the fight video that's posted somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're missing on that, the yin and the yang. But it doesn't work for the algorithm of these social media platforms and these platforms that we use.
And it doesn't work for America, right? The American market isn't ordained to put forth positive things that'll make us feel happier and more positive. We would, instill fear. And so therefore, as many positive things do happen in the world, we're going to highlight way more negative, so that when we highlight a positive, it's like, oh, there's one thing that can keep it all together, But at the end of the day, as much evil as there is in the world, there really is a balance of goodness. I see it every day. I practice it every day. So if I can practice it toward others every day, then I know it exists because I'm doing it myself. And I know that others are doing it like people like us. So I think it's important to remain focused on that. Like, I know you said, Reem'o, how watered down everything is. And before FMI and I even started doing VPR, we were already building our own careers. You know, he was an A&R, I was a publicist, producing live shows, doing various things, and I had started my business already. So we were already, you know, making our way, and we had networks of people. So when we came together, it was more powerful. But I know through both of us, we've seen a lot of people that didn't put the same amount of work per se, right? Getting into rooms and such, but if you know the right people, you can make a lot of things happen, but authenticity changes how things actually will go forward. And I think that when you let people connect organically and you're not kind of chasing that clout. So I've removed myself from looking at people where it's like, well, how did they get that interview and blah, blah, blah. And I know you didn't even, because it doesn't really matter, right? We do what we do. We've had, I mean, last month alone, we had so many invites that neither one of us wound up being able to go to, but I was like, Met Gala, okay. We're here, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't go because you're talking about a school night and I got to take kids to the morning. And the thing is, the after party from 11 to 2 a.m. I'm like,
I'm sitting there, I'm booked DJing, and I'm like, I got to get my bag ahead, you know.
Booked and busy and doing mommy things. But I think that when you know where your career is headed and the people that you're connected to, and you have those real genuine relationships as we've cultivated for 5 or 6 years, right? We don't see each other all the time. We don't talk all the time, but we have a mutual respect for one another. We see each other with people that we know, those 6 degrees of separation get closer and closer. And it's a respect for people that are really out on the grind. So I just tune into those people and kind of release everybody else that's just like chasing the wind, because they'll always be chasing somebody's coattails, right? I'm busy creating a lane. You're busy creating a lane. We're creating a lane.
Right.
So it's like,
that's what's up. I'm glad. Yeah, no, definitely. Because, and also my creators, I want you to understand from that standpoint, we're not here boasting ourselves or anything like that. I mean, yeah, definitely we should, as the amount of years that we invested into this, of course. Right. And the success has been, but we're doing our best we can to let you guys know of what to expect when you are coming into this creative space and a media standpoint, because I feel social media, it's a gift and a curse, right? So the gift is, okay, you're seen out a lot, you're shown as a figure that's doing something, right? But then the curse is, okay, you're deteriorating yourself away from understanding what the business is and what you have to do, and as well as your value is distorted in a sense. Because yeah, you could have 100K following, you know what I'm saying? I'm just putting an example out, but you could suck as a talent. You could really suck as a talent really bad. You know what I'm saying? So,
and let me tell you something I say all the time, especially now that I'm so heavily engulfed in data. Show me the facts. If you got 100K, then how come they're not buying your merchandise? How come they're not buying, you know, tickets to come out and see you? How come they're not bringing guests? You need to be able to show and prove, because 100K on Twitter or any other platform does not mean real, authentic, engaging fans that are winding up a sale, right? They don't go from being a fan to being a sale. And until that actual process happens, it's still just kind of like hobbyish.
Yeah. Or for that matter, if you're not answering invoices, that's what me and Chase. Shout out to DJ Chase, Worldwide Sound Records, my partner, my label partner.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's what I be saying. I be telling them all the time. I'm like, son, niggas got to answer invoices. That's where it's at. If you're not answering invoices, if an invoice ain't coming into your inbox saying, hey, what's your rate? Here, this is what we can do. Here's the budget we could do. All that shit, like you said, is a hobby.
A lot of people run away when they hear the word budget. I find it to be so impractical, right? Because when I go to get my nails done, I don't say to Sunny, like, can we negotiate this? Or, you know, can I come and clean your windows next Sunday? And then you'll give me $30 off. You feel me? We're not negotiating when we go buy Jordans or maybe a chain, you know what I mean? But you're only going to come down to what they tell you. So I just find it funny that when it comes to doing business, I feel like you take yourself seriously, you're going to function as a business, and a business constantly invests and reinvests in itself, in the structure, in the operation, in its employees, in its partnerships, in everything, in its marketing, advertising. So if you think that you are going to create a business, whether as an artist, a manager, a DJ, whatever, show me one successful person that hasn't spent money on their career. It's just not happening unless they're owned, literally owned by. You feel me? What did you say?
You know, just me doing shows and me just throwing these showcases. I'm seeing artists that will come and perform clubs that I'm at with 100K followers. But when you come to the club, you can't only bring 3 of your mans. But you got all this music going every time you post a video. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Are you only boasting your ego? And that's why I feel like it doesn't translate. And that's why I feel like we're getting lost in these social media likes and follows where people they're not even engaging with your brand. They're not engaging with your product. So what is it really for? You know what I'm saying? So, that's the disconnect.
You know what makes me big mad? A dude will have a video and there'll be like 40 people in a video, right? And they all rah, they got bottles, blah, blah, blah. And then they come to perform and they show up with one person. Where's those 40 people that were jumping around in the video talking about throwing money? How come they can't pay 10 or 20 or 15 or $30 for a ticket?
Shit is just crazy.
This
shit is just crazy. Yo, my creatives, listen, get to it, man. Look, the best thing that I say, like pandemic wise, what it did was eliminate the status quo, right? In a sense where, okay, you used to be able to fake it to make it. You used to, let's keep it a buck. You used to be able to fake it to make it. Oh, nah, not now. Not now. If you didn't come out of the pandemic ripping and running, oh, yeah, you off the race. That's just facts. You off the race.
Right. There was no coattails. There was no chasing coattails in quarantine, right?
Yeah.
You had to already be established or be doing your own thing or reestablishing or rebranding or pivoting. You couldn't be like, okay, what are we doing now? You know what I mean? It was like every man for himself.
Yeah, as soon as COVID hit and you seen barbers cutting hair inside their own houses, that's when I know everybody when they hustle and picking up different grinds. All right, so if you ain't come through COVID learning something, picking up a new skill, whether it be editing, videography, DJing, or stocks, or whatever you want, you know what I mean? It was vast. I had to do something. Too much amplitude.
And I was doing my own nails, okay? I had all sorts of skills.
Right. Yo, listen, hell, shit, even your Ruger sprayer right here, the social dream himself. Shit, shout out to my man Paul Schumacher. If he didn't give me the Apple desktop, shit, I'd have been in Dutch. Like both studios I was working out of with, and at the time, you got to remember, I was with Floss Magazine. I had my own article with Floss Magazine. I'm operating off of my iPhone and fucking iPad. You know what I'm saying? So,
and shout out to Apple for making it easy for us to operate off of a simple instrument that we pay quite a bit of money for, and then it really pays for itself, and we see why it makes sense. And we paid $900 or $1,100 for a damn phone. Shout out to you, Apple. Right. I made a lot of money off of you last year too.
Right. I got stocks in it. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. I got stocks in it. All right. Let's go with how you vet who you have on your show, or rather who you do events for. Take us into that. Take my careers into that, the importance of it, and as well as what do you feel has been the change since you did that? Take us into that.
FMI?
All right. So the way I vet who's gonna like perform at my shows or even come on VPR. So the first thing I look at is let me look at your EPK if you're an artist, you know what I'm saying? Let me see who's writing about you. Let me see what they think of your music. You know what I mean? Let me see where you're playlisted. All right, let me go on YouTube. Let me look to see where you perform. Let's see your visuals. You don't have to have 1 million views. You just have to have clean visuals for me. So I can see that you care about your product as much as I care about mine, since I'm going to be, introducing you to my brand. And then I'm just like, hey, I'll reach out to my partner and I'll say, hey, Qiana, how do you feel about this artist? I would show her the same information and give her a day or two and let her come back to me, and then we'll go from there. But as far as what I look for in an artist right now to bring them on my platform, it's how much do you want it? How much does it make sense? What are you doing in your community? And I know that's a lot to ask of this day and age artists, but on VPR, it means a lot to us because we work amongst one another. And I hold my community very responsible. That's how we make a change. But I'll let Qiana take over now.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly when it comes to music. And I think this is why FMI also used to enjoy coming out to T-Bames, the live show that we did, because we vetted our music so cleanly to make sure the appearance was right, the sound was right, the quality was right. When we're talking live appearance, I don't want to see just your track, you know, I need to see what you sound like in person, because it can be completely different. But I think overall, even when you're talking about someone that doesn't have a lot of views, and they're just like on the come up, like we've all been there, right? When you have someone who is really on their way to making positive changes, that goes hand in hand with our branding and our messaging. So it's always important for us to be able to let our audience leave feeling like they feel better than when they came in, and they learned something, right? And they want to go forth and help other people feel better, research more on the topic. So whether we have people come in teaching about finances, how to clean up your credit, talking about stocks. I mean, we've had everyone, right? Education, we've had doctors, we've had scientists, the list goes on and on. So it's not even just, you know, musicians and artists. And we've had that, and we've had producers, and we've had Shannon Briggs, who's, you know, the former heavyweight champion of the world. So the plethora of people that we have, it's been such a beautiful thing, because like I said, in this journey, he already had connections, I had connections. When we first started VPR, we got booked up way before I expected. I really just wanted us to start organically having conversations, and people started hitting me up like, yo, can we get booked? And next thing I know, we were booked 12 weeks out. And I was like, well, FMI, I guess we're going to be doing interviews starting next week. He was like, all right, well, here we go.
one of the people you had was, my brother, and you know, it's my brother, T Money from Young TV Raps.
You already know. First of all, we're doing an event with T Money on Thursday. So shout out to T Money, shout out to the AM PM Gallery. We're gonna be there, and it's gonna be lit. T Money has been a friend to us and a friend to the show forever. And it's crazy because I watched Yo MTV Raps growing up. So this is like, I'm like living a fucking dream. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's surreal, but it's just so natural and organic. You feel me? When T Money hits my phone, like, hey, Key, I want you and FMI to be present for blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we got you, T. You know what I mean? So it's all love. And I don't think we've ever had a bad guest. Like, we've never had a guest where, well, maybe one or two, but out of all the interviews we've done, you know, it's very rare where we're like, well, we'll never do that.
Hey, I never had to cut an interview short. No. So we could both say that positively. We've never had to cut an interview short.
Professional for
every,
that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
We will re-steer people, because sometimes people will go on a tangent, or you ask a question and the question goes somewhere completely else. But I think that's the power of being a real media professional as well, right? You're not thinking about, you're thinking about the other end, the listener, and what that sounds like, whether people are yelling over each other, or just being unprofessional, or, you know, talking about things that may not be in alignment with where your show is. So you can just, and then, you know, realign them.
That's a fact. Nah, that's a fact. I'm definitely glad you touched on that. My creatives, you just heard them break it down, man. And I always say it here on Cuts. It's very key that you have to vet whom you have on your platform, because what happens is a lot of times when you get caught with, oh, well, I got to get said person so my views go up. But then if said person that gets your views go up say some real wacky and idiotic and ignorant shit, you won't look like you co-sign that shit. Like, I'll keep it a buck. Yo, there was somebody I interviewed, and I was part of a crazy email that was like, yo, you need to like ban him or erase anything he has him or whatever. I took that son of a bitch off. I wasn't playing. I'm like, nah, you ain't doing that. You ain't getting me caught up out there. You ain't getting the Ruger sprayer saying that shit was Reem'o approved. Nah, I deleted that whole episode. I didn't care what the numbers was. Yeah, I deleted that episode. I didn't care what the number was.
Right.
No, we not doing that. You have
to protect your image, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's all about branding. You know what I mean? You don't see Nike trying to stand next to anything controversial. If they do, they're profiting from it. So at the same time, you got to protect your brand, man.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's get with the fun stuff right now. Let's get with the fun stuff. What do you want VPR Radio to do next in regards? and it doesn't even have to even be media. Like, what do you want VPR Radio? Because right now you guys are definitely putting your foots on people's necks and backs. So that's already established, right?
We didn't even need to do that, but thank you.
I know, I'm saying in my mind. I'm like,
no, let's keep it. No, I'm not. This ain't no kiss ass session. This is just speaking the facts. Okay, what is your aim next with VPR Radio? Is it satellite? Is it FM? I mean, even though you guys are, if I'm not mistaken, but what is next for you guys? Is it you guys do your own live show at a big stadium? Like, what is next with VPR Radio?
I'm going to say we want all of that. We want it all and then some. And I think that, you know, the beauty of what we do and how we do it is that we've been able to set our own guidelines to how we want to do things and retain our creative control. So we know even when it comes to like venturing into partnerships, we've had these conversations in the past. We know where we stand and where we're aligned, what we're willing to do in terms of, you know, passing over equity and investment and et cetera, to make sure that we are always retaining the lion's share of VPR Radio, because having that is important. So, I mean, for me, I see radio station. I see definitely, you know, TED Talks and beyond, you know, it's so far beyond just VPR Radio. It's being able to reach the masses. This is actually another big reason that I took this data analytics program, because I knew it would be helpful to clients, but because our podcast goes everywhere. We're already in like, it's something like 70 something countries now. So it's constantly growing. Wow. But I only have a small bit of access to the data because it's distributed through so many different channels, right? So trying to catch it all and then put it all together, I'm like, we're still missing. So if I could catch hold of that data and have full control of it, it would really make it so much more beneficial. And that's why I wanted to get in line with that so that we can really have all of our data, have all of our audience, and be able to connect with them, because the messaging that we're sending is so different from most, you know, the Breakfast Club, or, you know, we don't mind having conversations and open conversations and even a little bit ratchet, but at the end of the day, it's not about dragging people. It's not about gossip, right? We get enough of that. I steer clear of the negativity. FMI, as I've always known him, has steered clear of negativity. We don't see us in that kind of field, and we're not chasing clout. So we don't need to clickbait to get people. We want to have people that actually come on and say, wow, and stay because the conversation is interesting, not because they saw something that said Kim Kardashian and, you know, Kanye West, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. That's not what we're here for. We're here for that authenticity. So I see us continuing to be authentic, and the opportunities continuing to open up, like our opportunity to work with Microsoft and to work with, you know, the Mecon, and so many other opportunities that we have coming up that are just incredible. Working with T-Money, you know, doing these different events. And I think that we use distinction for sure with who we work with to make sure that they're professional and they're aligned with our messaging. And we're just gonna keep going. You know, I think we're the silent killers. You talking about pressure next, but, you know, I think we're just kind of doing that on the low and just moving and popping up. And it's like, oh, VPR Radio. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As you should.
As you should. FMI, close out, and then we're gonna quickly wrap it up.
Hey, man, I love hearing what we do here at VPR. You know, after we finish each show, I get calls telling me, hey, you know, what you and Qiana said and the guest you had on was like very therapeutic. And it really makes me answer some questions about myself that I try to stay away from. And that's what I enjoy most about that. So when it goes to us being on stage at Madison Square Garden or on satellite radio, as long as I could bring my message forward and our vision forward and have creative control of that, that's what we're aiming for. And I think, you know, we're on a beautiful path right now.
All right, that's what's up. Nonetheless, man, yo, I want everybody to know about you. They should know about you. Let everybody know where to follow you at.
They can follow us at VPR_radio on all major platforms. And then you can also visit www.vpradio.org. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can join us, and you can also watch us live streaming every single Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you got to find my partner, DJ FMI, and I'm your girl, Qiana the Goddess.
Yes, yes.
I love it.
Yes. Oh, my creators. I know we want to speak longer, but we gotta end it right now. Nonetheless, you know what it is, man. This is Cuts Podcast, C.U.T.S __ for Instagram. Instagram, of the Ruger Sprayer, the social dweeb himself is at Reem'o Meerak _ the website, Reem'oMeerak.com to catch the episodes. You catch it here on Clash TV, DJ Chase Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, Apple. Oh, the list goes on and on. Yeah, it does. But
it's like that.
Yeah, facts. Nonetheless, man, this is episode 102 of season 5 of Cuts, Culture, Urban Technology, and Sports. My creatives, I am appreciative of this conversation, and I really hope you took this in. But you know what time it is. It's that hashtag. It's PTC. Pound that chest. Come on, man. You already know what it is, man. You know what that is? It's that 2 up. That's peace. We're out of here. Woo! It's yours truly, Reem'o Meerak, aka Chef Reem'o. Yeah, you hear it Cuts. You know what the Cuts stand for: Culture, Urban, Technology, and Sports. Now, for the latest features, content, interviews, and more, click that subscribe button. Come on, man!